Hello. Welcome to another tutorial. It's been a really long time since I did a tutorial, and in this tutorial, we'll be working on the character controller, first-person character controller, created by Nick Gillin, which was posted on official CryEngine channel, and it had like free tutorials. Um, I'll link it in the description. Actually, I can show you what I mean. Um, so yeah, basically, this one and this one. So we'll be working with this, which was the last version, where the jump is created, and we'll be adding a animated character. And you might say, "Oh, this is really simple. I just, it's my imported character over here." But if you actually move forward, there wouldn't be any animations. You need to assign the animation to a actual action or action key, whatever the name is. I'm sorry, I'm not a programmer. So anyway, I'm gonna show you how it's gonna look. So he's a awesome Mixamo created character, and you can see we're moving. There's an animation. You can run. You can move left or right. There's an animation, and yeah, basically now we're moving backwards, and this is how it would look by default. Okay, so you need to have those animations. I'm not gonna go over how to import an animations, how to import your character and stuff, because I'm gonna assume you already know that. If you don't, please let me know in the description. I can make a separate tutorial on that. But this time we'll be working with code. We'll be working with Mannequin editor. Um, and and this this beautiful player component that we created. So yeah, we also have a jump, but don't look at the animation, please. I'm kind of embarrassed because the animation is not really working as it should right now. Anyway, so this is a beautiful character. I also plan to decapitate him for the first person view, and yeah. So what we'll be doing, I imported this character, as I said, from Mixamo. I used Mixamo website to rig him because that's the easiest way, because I hate rigging, because I cannot do it, so I hate it. Uh, so it's the easiest way, and I'm actually planning to create a whole project with like a first-person shooter, a first-person game actually, using Mixamo animations and Mixamo skeletons, so it's easily the character can be easily changed. Hopefully that's something that'll work. I'm not sure, but yeah, anyway, enough chit chat. We'll be using actually Mannequin editor, which when I first saw it, I wanted to cry and went to my mama because it looked so intimidating at first. But then I saw a tutorial by um, Sorry. Then I saw a tutorial by Brian Dilk. I'm really sorry, I could not. Uh, I had to think to get your name. To be honest, I'm after like 10 hours of work, and yeah, it's not like uh, I don't remember Brian Dilk. He's really awesome and amazing. Uh, but it's just I'm a little bit tired, so um, please do take that into considerations. Anyway, then I saw the tutorial by Brian Dilk and I was like, oh, this is the basics are pretty easy. I can work with that. So basically, if you follow the tutorial, Nick mentioned that you should use when you're creating the project. You should use the first person template, and I highly recommend it as well because it includes some of the basic files, especially for the Mannequin editor setup. So if you don't have those files, you can go to your CryEngine folder, which in my case should be CryEngine engine. That's the folder when I have the engine installed. CryTech 5.7 LTS. And over here you have the templates folder. So you go in, you go to, I guess CPP, doesn't really matter. You go first person shooter, assets, and you just copy this folder animations into your project if you don't have it. If you do have it, you can just chill out. So we're gonna go to I think it's this folder, to the project folder. We're gonna go to assets, animations, Mannequin, I hope. Preview and player. .xml. Hopefully that's the file we're looking for. Yes! Yes, that's it. So, basically we're not gonna change this line. We're gonna... I think there's like a... Actually, let me compare the two. So this is, by the way, I already have everything done, so I'll be doing a lot of comparing and kind of showing you the, okay, and showing you what I added to that because I don't want to discard it and then do it again because, as I said, I'm not a programmer and it took me a while to figure out what to do in order to get where I am today, and I'm really uh, and oh my god, talking and doing stuff is really hard. I'm really worried about losing my stuff. That's what I wanted to tell you. Okay, so this is how it looks when you first open this file. So basically what I did here is I deleted this line, which is for third person. Basically, you can have like I think it's called context, and it's basically when you have different animations for different views. In this instance, you have animations for first person and third person, and this is sort of like a category if I get it right. maybe not. If you have like different animations for first person and third person. Um, so we're not gonna do third person, so we can just delete this, which I did over here. Enabled, yes. Database, we're gonna leave it as it is. Context, we can leave it as it is. And this is really important. The model is where you want to um, uh, create a path to the character that you created. So in my instance, it's assets, character, objects, characters, player, and somewhere in here we do have player character.cdf. So when you have that, you can just start with objects. You don't have to like go to assets. You can just go with objects, characters, player character.cdf. Now CDF is character definition file. That's basically that nice thing you have in your uh, character to, yeah, basically it's this thing that you want to link it. And when I open it, yeah, it does have a skeleton, but it needs to have all the animations, of course, the skins and materials and all those good stuff. So yeah, you just link it up and then save it, and that's basically everything you want to do with this. Then you're gonna go to editor. You're gonna go to the Mannequin editor. You're gonna go to file, load preview setup, and I think you're gonna load the exact same file that you edited, which is this, and I'm gonna close it just in case. Yes, okay. And if everything is done right, you should have your character over here. But instead of like this, it's gonna be something like this. So you have to zoom in. And by default, I think you're gonna have idle and maybe walk. So you can pretty much, I don't know, you can delete it or whatever. You can work with it. Doesn't really matter. So basically, you're gonna want to create these kinds of things for each of your actions. So when you, I like to just delete everything and start from scratch, which I'm not gonna do here, but actually you're gonna want to go to new ID, and you want to add your fragment ID. So actually I'm gonna delete idle, and I'm gonna show you how to maybe yeah, okay, I'm gonna delete idle and then gonna edit again to kind of show you how to do that. So you wanna go to new ID. I'm gonna name this idle. Alright. Now we can do first person or third person, and we're gonna do only first person, and then we're not gonna do anything and hit OK. Then we're gonna click on this kind of folder, and we're gonna go with new fragment entry. Okay, nice. We're gonna go to option 1, and oh my god, I hope I remember this correctly. Go to first person, and we're gonna go to add layer and animation layer. Then we're gonna make sure we're on 0. We can double click. We're gonna click on this thing on the animation layer. We're gonna go to over here to animation. And we're gonna in here we can select the animation we want. So in my case it's breathe idle. And we want this to be looping. So basically it's gonna play all over again until it's until a new animation is played, basically. So yeah, we're gonna do this, and you can do this with all the animations. You can see I have jump, left, right, sprint. Not all the animations are gonna be looping. So for example, if you have animation for movement, yes, that's gonna be looping. But if you have animations for like a jump or I don't know, crouch, if you're going from standing to crouch, that's not gonna be in loop. So just keep that in mind, that not all the animations are gonna be looping. But this one is gonna be looping. And you can do this with all the animations. You can see I have idle, left, right, that means going left, going right. I have sprint, I have walk, and I'm gonna add just a bunch of more. These are just for the purpose of example. So once you have this, you want to save changes, and yeah, it's gonna tell us a bunch of stuff that we did. We're gonna hit save, and I'm going to keep this open because we're gonna need those names, those fragment ID names, to be used in our code. So we're gonna go to Visual Studio, and this is where our coding part starts. So I'm just gonna drink. Okay, so we do have all this code from the last jumping tutorial. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to player.cpp, and first thing I added those 4 things. So I think I'm gonna just link them in the description, write them in the description of the video so that you can just copy it, and I'm not gonna spell it, but basically this sets out the default scope context name. So if we go back here, this is the context name, and basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna tell the player component that we're gonna use this context. Okay, so we're just gonna copy this name in here. Now obviously you don't have to do this. Not all of those things are this is kinda what you want to do. Maybe no. So hold on. All of those 4 things that I added are not necessary, but what they're gonna do is they're gonna set up all those things by default, so you don't have to set them up in Engine when you add that new entity. So I think I can show you. If I go to Components, General, C Player Component. So basically this is the new component, and you can actually see then the controller definition, default scope name, animation database, and default fragment name is already set up in here. And this is basically done by those things. So I just find it convenient, so I edit that. Next thing, we need to set up the Mannequin animation database file. That sounds really awful. But basically what it is, it's this thing. The first person ADB, which is basically the file that includes, you know, the fragment names, the idle jump, yada yada. And it's basically animation, mannequin. I can actually show you. Animations, mannequin, ADB, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, ADB. And we're gonna link it to this file, firstperson.adb. Okay, then we need to load controller definition, which is in the same folder, but it's just XML file, which, yeah, basically whatever. I don't think we need to change anything in there, I hope. And that's the character there. And then this is really interesting thing, the default fragment. If we go in here, you can see those are all fragments, and we chose the idle fragment as a default. So basically fragment is like an animation, you can say. So basically we're just setting up the default animation to be idle, and from this point on we'll be using not the animation names but the fragment names. It's sort of done through the mannequin. So if we want to have the idle animation, we're gonna use the name of the fragment, or the fragment ID, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then load from disk. I think that's, I'm not sure if that's necessary or not. I just edit that up. It might be necessary to do that, it might not, I'm not sure. I edit that, it works. Let's move on. Okay. Now I think this is what changed. Yeah, so basically I'm gonna basically, if you follow the tutorial, you had something like this. I think you had like a MP input component, register action, that you then you had like a player, then you have, this is yo, but you can had like a move left or whatever. Then you had this thing over here, and then you have the bind action, yada yada. So what I did is I took this part and sort of get it like this, so it's gonna better visually, which you can see over here for move rate. And I added this code, so this is what's been in there, and I created this stuff. So this actually what this do is basically if you press the activation key, which is in this in this case D, yeah, over here, something's gonna happen, and what's gonna happen is that the advanced animation component is gonna Q fragment basically is gonna play the fragment called wait, which is the this, which is basically the animation uh, when the character walks right. And then another important thing is if this is if we release the key, we want to play again the idle animation. So this is really important. If you don't have this line, it's just gonna play the wait animation all over again, no matter what. So basically, this line says if you release the key, um, I'm gonna play the idle animation again, and I did that for, like, you can see it over here as well. This is move forward, uh, and it's gonna play the uh, walk animation on press, and on release is gonna play the idle animation. So basically this is the stuff that controls the animation. M_B advanced animation component, then you want to go with this arrow Q fragment, and over here this is really important. This is the fragment ID name. This is this thing, the name of this little folder that you want to use over here. And yeah, you can do that for all of them. So basically it's, you want to add that over here. You can see we have the mouse rotation delta, and yeah, this is basically how that looked. This was like over here, and I just move it over here, and under this I created this if and if statements, and play the animations. So yeah, then you of course need to build a solution. Make sure you have the engine closed, because otherwise it's not gonna work. And yeah, of course you need to set up all the settings over here. This is really important as well. Walk speed, one speed, otherwise it's not gonna work. Rotation speed, camera position. Actually this worked the best for me. My character created from Mixamo. Maximum minimum pitch of the camera. Field of view, I set it to 55, which is the default in Game SDK. 0.1 of eye control ratio. And yeah, by the way, you need to use animation driven motion. You need to check that if you haven't done that already. Actually, I'm gonna show you. It's kind of funny how it's gonna work without animation driven motion. So this is basically if you don't have the animation driven motion. So basically you can see the character is walking, but he's kind of walking faster than the character is moving. And if you over here, and if you check that, basically the animation will control the motion. It will be really smooth. You can press shift, And yeah, that's it. You can sort of see his teeth clipping over there. That can be solved by removing his head. And no, I'm not from ISIS, but that's sort of a thing that you do in first-person shooters, that you delete just the head because it's causing just a trouble with the camera. So yeah, that's pretty much all. Of course, I'm gonna link. No, I'm gonna copy and paste all the stuff in the description. Uh, all the all the calls, so you don't have to sort of watch the screen and retyping it. Oh shit! What have I done? I broke my code. Uh, but yeah, you can just copy it into the player.cpp. I think that's pretty much all what you need to do in terms of coding. So it's not that like hard to do. You sort of need to do the coding of those previous 3 tutorials. But this is sort of like an extension of how to add to your animated character and how to attach the animation um, to a certain action, basically. And you can add just more actions and more animations, and create a complex control scheme. So yeah, that's pretty much all for this tutorial. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments below. Um, Please don't have like too technical question, because yes, I'm a CryEngine developer, but I'm not a programmer, so some things I may not be able to answer, but I'll do my best to answer all the questions. I do read all the questions, not immediately, but over time, and I'm happy for every comment that I get. So yeah, I hope this was interesting. I hope it helped you. I'm really happy to make another tutorial and to share what I learned and what I accomplished, and hopefully that can help you with your development as well. So yeah, enjoy, and we'll see I'll see you in the next video, in the next tutorial.